Hey, are you always looking to improve yourself? You're in the right video. I'm going to tell you today how to raise your self-confidence and how to live a life into a higher frequency. Hey, what's up? My name is Ricardo and I'm going to tell you today how to do that, how you can shift your life into a higher frequency, the steps that it's going to take, and I'm going to be very transparent about it, and I'm going to help you get into that life. One of the ways is to raise your self-confidence, and when you have to raise your self-confidence, there's a couple of things that you need to keep in mind. You need to keep your word. Keep your word. If you say you're going to go to the gym, you have to go to the gym. If you say you're going to not eat sugar, do not eat the sugar. You have to have some self-control. If you say that you are going to have some sugar, then you need to stick to, I'm going to have limited amount of sugar. If you want to completely eliminate it all, that might be difficult for you. So just be honest with yourself. Hey, I'm only going to have one time a week a dessert. Once a week, I'm going to have a dessert. And gradually, you're going to create that self-control into that new you. The new you that doesn't have that once a week. Now you have it once every other week. So raising your self-confidence starts within. It starts with you keeping your word to yourself. If you're going to say something and you don't commit to it, it's going to lower your self-confidence. You're not going to believe in yourself as much because you're not keeping your word. Remember, keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, go all out and do it. Stick to the plan. My coach said this: you will never out-earn your self-concept. See, that's a little bit difficult to unwrap. But in reality, anyone that has been very successful, that has been successful in life, in business, in finance, they had to raise their self-concept. How do you do that? The way you dress, the way you show up, the way you look, the way you feel. And now, all those things are going to tie in together for who you become. How are you showing up to work? How are you showing up with your family? How are you showing up with your friends? Are you just showing up like you got out of bed? How is that going to raise your self-confidence and your self-worth? Are you going to look like you didn't like smell good? That's going to lower your self-confidence. So remember, these traits that you need to pick up on are critical. How you look. Did you get a haircut? Are you clean cut? Are you shaved up? Are you smelling good? All those little things are going to raise your self-worth. Now, if you already like this super confident person and you can roll out of bed and still be super confident, it still doesn't matter because the first impression is always as important as the impression that you're going to give to someone. So your first impression is going to be critical if you're going to meet new people. If you're going to have to meet new people and develop a network, how are you going to show up like looking all crusty? You can't. You got to raise your self-worth within yourself. Start with being clean cut. Start with showing up. The women, comb your hair, look great, look good. Like, don't just roll out of bed and go somewhere where you're going to meet people and act like it's not a big deal. Now, lastly, it's what your attitude is like. And I want to tell you one powerful way to do it is by shifting your mind into a gratitude attitude. Being in a gratitude state of mind is easier than to being in a negative state of mind. Now, I have to warn you, be very careful about the news that you watch day in and day out. I know there's a lot of bad news going on in the world, but you cannot focus on things that you cannot control. Now, we can also talk about contribution. If you want to contribute to something good to make your community better, then you can start doing something like that in a local setting. But if you focus on the negative news going around in the world, you can't fly to across the seas to try to change the world. You can start with yourself and with your surroundings. So that's why I say start with a gratitude attitude. Now, when you shift your mind into a gratitude state of mind, a lot of things get easier. You show more love. You show more compassion. You show more compassion to the people that may say something to you that may have been out of line. So when you shift your mind into that attitude, gratitude state of mind, you shift into a love, not a fear-based mindset. When you're in a fear-based mindset, you are in a stressful mind, and anybody that comes across you, you make it into a bigger deal than what it really is. For example, this morning I saw this guy that seemed very bothered in the gym. He stared at me and stared at the guy across. We were in the same hamstring leg workout machine, and I had my earphones on, and he went up to the other guy, sparked up kind of like an argument. This guy didn't really feed into it. He was just trying to show him like, hey man, just all I saw was this guy being relaxed and this other guy just being completely frustrated with life. And this other guy didn't feed into it. He just said, hey man, this is how it is. It's busy. You know, you can jump in if you want. I'm more than happy to let you in. And the guy just kept arguing. I didn't even hear the conversation. I just saw these two guys going at it. But that's my point. How are you starting your day? How is your attitude towards others? Are you frustrated for dumb things that you can't control? If the gym is super packed, how are you gonna get frustrated because of that? Can't you just pivot and go do a different exercise? What does it matter? I mean, an exercise is an exercise. Like, you can go do a different exercise. See, it's perspective. See, it's not easy when you're drowning in self-doubt. It's not easy when you're focusing on negative things. When you're just focusing on the negative, it takes all the good away. You cannot focus on what's good. And remember this, your frequency is what you frequently see. What are you watching? What are you listening to? Who are you talking to a lot? Are you talking to more negative people? Are you talking more online to negative news? Or are you listening to more positive things, more positive quotes, positive books, positive YouTube videos, positive shows? What are you doing? All those things are going to matter in your success. By no means am I a perfect person. I make mistakes. I don't think anyone is a perfect person. But I will say, I will give grace, and I am grateful for the people that want to improve. If you can look from the outside in how to improve your life, that is when growth starts. If you can look from the outside in, that is when your growth starts. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope this video helps someone out there. Remember to start your day with a gratitude state of mind. Be grateful for one thing every single day in the morning. So that way you can tackle the day with a gratitude attitude. Much love. I'll see you guys on the next video. See you guys.